what I'd like to do today is show you broker reporting, where these benefits are and how to use them and how to then use them within your own office and your own company. So let's go ahead and kind of take a look at where this is going to live and what you're going to expect when you're going to run a report, okay? And this is for any platform, whether you're still on the business platform, the Business Plus platform, or if you have a team dashboard, any of the three, you all have access to this. So if you don't fall under those three categories, I'm going to provide some information for you later that's going to allow you to see the benefits yourself, okay? So my screen's shared right now. Everyone should see my cursor moving. Let's go ahead and show you where this lives, all right? So within your dashboard, we always have those 6 icons that live in the navigational toolbar. The first icon being dashboard. It looks like a staircase says dashboard when you hover over it. And when you click on this, well, this page isn't, very new. This is a page that you've seen before. This is kind of some low-level metrics that you can see here, but we're going to bypass this and actually get to some of the nitty-gritty data that's in your own account that you can't see, okay? So let me go ahead. I'm going to click on the Go to Report Builder in the top left-hand corner. As I do that, you're going to see this brand new report builder page that we built out. And it's pretty slick. It's very basic, but this is just how we run the report. After we run the report, what's going to happen is you're going to receive CSV file, there you go, of which is simply an Excel file, and then you can really manipulate the data to really pinpoint what you're looking for or see what avenues or areas in your company may need a little bit of work within dotloop, okay? So simply, we'll give this report a name, okay? We can call this May and June transactions. Maybe, there you go. We can certainly select any of the loop statuses that you'd like to zero in on. So in some situations, maybe all you care about is those sold transactions, right? You want to know what money's coming in. You can simply and quickly and easily select just that sold status and run a report based off of that, okay? But I want to really show all the capabilities. So I want a lot of data within this report. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these loop statuses. Obviously, I can play with them as needed. If I want to remove any, certainly I can. The review stages, of which you would see any custom review stages that you've added to your account. So many of you have custom workflow set with that you've worked with your success managers through. So any of these would be custom to your account. Clearly, what you're seeing on my page is those default review stages, okay? But still, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to select all so I get much more data contributing to my data sheet, okay? And then, of course, down here under date filters, I have the ability to set a date range of which I want to capture the data from, and I can select what type of date that I want. So I can select my offer dates, closing dates, listing expiration dates, and then creation dates. And of course, that's when the loop itself was created, okay? Or you don't have to select a date type. You can leave that blank, and everything else will follow in. It's much like selecting the select all up above. Not preparing or not selecting a date field allows everything to flow into the data sheet. My report is named May and June, so let's go ahead and grab those May date range, so starting May 1st, ending in June 30th, okay? So I want to get a 60-day swath of what's going into my dot loop. So I can quickly and easily click this Create Report. Now your report is now running. Please check back later for the completed report. So what's happening now is I clicked Create Report, and all this is happening in the background. I can go about, if I'm an admin for the office or the broker, clearly I can go about reviewing certain things or, answering the phones or, replying to emails as my day normally goes. Well, when this report is completed, you're going to get an email letting you know that this report has been complete. So it looks just like any other dotloop email saying your report May, June transactions has been completed. You click on the file, it downloads for you, and you quickly and easily open it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and fast forward to what that data sheet is going to look like. Okay, and once we're in here, I'm going to show you some of the cool things that you can use as simple hot tips or tricks within an Excel file that many of you may know, many of you may not. So for those of you who don't, I got some cool things in store for you right now. Okay. This is the transaction May to June 2017 report that I just ran. You can see there is a ton of data. We have loop IDs, loop names, statuses, compliance, tags, etc. This runs all the way far to the right. This captures literally everything that you see within your view details page, okay? Along with any custom fields that you mark or create in your loop templates, okay? Now you can see here I have quite a bit of information that doesn't appear to be captured. And of course, you're only going to have as good of data as the data that your agents are putting into these loops, okay? So if you find yourself running reports where you just see vacant areas, well, that might be a good, good loop field that you can mark as required in your loop template. So if you absolutely need to see any piece of this financial data, or the year built, if you want to run a report on that and make sure you're capturing everything within your loop templates, you do have the ability to mark those fields as required, meaning your agents cannot submit paperwork to you unless those fields have been entered, okay? So it's a great way to secure that data is being captured by your agents, all right? Now, a few things that I want to show you with this Excel file that's going to make it a little bit easier to read, maybe a little bit easier to manipulate. One of which is I can't see all of the tags here as to what this all means. So a quick and easy way to expand this page so I can actually read everything is to double click or click on this top right hand corner. It ultimately selects all, and within the A and B square I can hit that twice, and it shifts everything to allow me to see the entirety of this page. Nothing's hidden or tucked in between other columns, okay? So you can see here now I know exactly what I'm looking at, okay? Some of this data you'd like to maybe sort, right? We have some loop statuses here that are all mixed in. Let me show you how easily and quickly you can sort these either by date or by text, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and come up to data. I can click now the filter icon. Oh, let me select all first real quick. A shortcut to select all is Command A on a Mac or Control A on a PC. Easy shortcut. I can select filter, and now you can see each one of these columns has their own drop-down menu, where, for instance, under created date, I can change this to ascending or descending order. Okay, so if I want to look at the soonest or the most recent loops that were created, I can clearly click the descending or invert that to work backwards and see which loops were created first within my dashboard. Okay. You can also allow yourselves to use some of these filters here and remove any 2016 loops that were created in this column. Okay, and simply reapply that, and you're good. Okay, so some quick and easy sorting features. Many of you may know, many of you may not, and I'm welcome to share those with you, or happy to share those with you today. Another great idea or another thing that I'd like to show you here is simply how to generate some averages and percentage for some of your financial data. Okay, so here we have all these transactions, all the splits, etc. And here are some of the totals. Well, let's actually see what money are we bringing in, or what money is our agents making for this for this time period, right? So I can go ahead and select all these. Let me actually scroll down to the very bottom. Perfect. All right. So let me go ahead and calculate what total commissions we have here today. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click at the very bottom of this. I'm simply going to add an equal sign. We're going to say sum. And we're going to go ahead and highlight all of these fields with the little shift command and up. Scroll back down. Sorry. Here we go. And I'm simply going to click enter. All right. Now that kind of gives me a raw figure there, a little hard to read as far as what dollar value that is. So I can quickly go to home or highlight this field maybe first, go to home, and let's go ahead and throw a dollar value in there. So we can actually see that we're working with a lot of commission totals here in this column. Okay. Not only can you create totals, but of course we can create averages as well. So the same thing we're going to do, same formula, equal sign, average. Let's go ahead and grab all of these fields. Perfect. We'll hit enter. And again, we have another kind of raw number here. Let's go ahead and fix that and turn that into a dollar value. So it's a little bit easier for us to read. So an average commission total of 28 grand. I'm happy. You happy? I'm sure you're happy. All right. Fantastic. Now, this is a great way, and again, you guys might know a lot of these tricks, but some features that you may not know, such as pivot tables. This is a great way to kind of pull out a segment of this data and create its own, Excel sheet with just that information. So let's scroll over here and let's look at some of our tags. So hopefully a lot of you guys are using the tags option, as most admins and brokers have the ability to add a tag to a loop. And a tag is simply that sticky note that you want to put on that outside of the file that you and your agents can see without needing to necessarily dig into the loop and find it. So maybe you want to capture the referral source, or maybe you want to capture whether something was bank owned, or if it's by a transaction by one of those investors that are constantly buying and selling homes through your brokerage. Well, let's take a look at these tags and kind of dive into them and see what's going on and see where maybe our marketing dollars deserve to go next month or next quarter. Okay. So I can do this. I'm going to go ahead and click on this column, highlight this entire E tags column, okay? Then I'm going to go to insert. And the first option I have here on the left is pivot table. And I want to go ahead and create a new sheet with this pivot table. And I'm going to select OK. This brings up a new sheet down here in the bottom left that I can actually completely separate myself and other data from the original sheet here. And what I need to do is I need to edit that information. Here we go. Sorry, I had that in my search bar. Let's remove that. And here you see that I already highlighted that tags. And I'm going to simply drag this into these two columns down here, row, which here you can see all the different tags that I have available. And I'm also going to drag it down to value and see how many of each tag that I've used. So based off of this, I have 484 tags that have been bank owned. So maybe not great for the market if that many banks own a property or properties, but easy way to kind of zero these in and see, okay, these lead sources maybe came from email, or maybe this is an investor or referral. Okay, this gives me a quick snapshot of where I may want to spend those marketing dollars in the future. Okay, we can also do, let me go ahead and bounce back over to the transaction sheet. Let's look at review stages. Okay, so a lot of the feedback that we got prior to this was admins coming to me saying, Patrick, I have 14 offices and I'm trying to figure out which office is performing maybe a little bit better within the dashboard. I may have one office that maybe a file gets returned to the agent and it sits there at the return to agent status for 4 or 5 days by the time it ever gets back to my admins to review the corrected information. Well, we can actually see under the review or the compliance stages by selecting D, highlighting everything, going back to insert and table. I can move this here so you can see this better, but it's asking me, do I want to create a new sheet or an existing sheet? I'm actually going to add it back to that sheet that I've already created. So I'm going to say existing sheet, and all I need to do is click sheet. Now click a field where I want that to be input and hit OK. Okay. Now again, I have the compliance status available. I'm going to do the same thing I did for the tags. I'm going to drag it down to rows and drag it down to values. So here we go. I can see how many current loops are in the approved status, closed status, expired, in financial review, needs review, pending return to agent and withdrawal. Okay, so you get a glimpse in at maybe what your individual office or your brokerage is doing, or where these transactions currently sit in the life cycle of the loop. Okay, pretty great stuff. Okay, I hope you guys are excited about this. One thing that I do want to share with you guys is the fact that this is V1 of broker reporting. Okay, this is the first version of broker reporting that we've shipped and made public to you guys. That being said, we're going to make this a lot better than what you see it today. The only way we're going to get that to that point and make these enhancements or improvements or make more features available to you is for you guys to come in here, run some reports, play with it, and from you, we want to hear what we missed out on or what we didn't think about or what you would consider valuable data or metrics within your office, okay? And then we can work together to provide that for you guys, okay? Now, I didn't get too crazy with all the examples of tips and tricks for this Excel sheet that you do have, but we will provide more in-depth Excel tips on our blog. So if you haven't checked out our blog lately or ever, jot this down, type it into your URL, dotloop.com/blogs. Fantastic site. All the new and exciting things that are going on with dotloop you can see posted there, including in-depth Excel tips and other features that you can consider, or maybe scenarios that you might want to think of for your broker reporting. Okay. For those of you who have questions, immediate questions regarding broker reporting, we're here. Reach out to your customer success managers. Reach out to our support team. Ask those questions that you feel that you have on your chest. You should know your success manager's phone number. If not, simply call 888-DOT-LOOP. That's our support line. They can easily route you to our success managers, or if it's a simple question, let's go ahead and try to see if the support team can answer those questions for you, okay? If you're not a dashboard subscriber just yet, and you're on this webinar to learn what dotloop has and maybe some other features that maybe you just heard that dotloop has a new reporting tool, awesome. To learn more, make sure you're contacting our sales team at sales@dotloop.com. Or at 513-257-0552. Okay? Feel free to reach out to us. We'll definitely get you set up so you can take advantage of these features like broker reporting. And I appreciate you guys joining me today. Please take advantage of the great tools that we're offering today, like broker reporting, and let us know how we can make this better for you in the future. Thank you.